think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country.
Take a look at this map showing the U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean in the last few weeks. The U.S. has already airstriked a bunch of fishing boats. What is happening here? Well, the Trump administration says that they're confronting the Maduro government in Venezuela for smuggling drugs into the United States. The only problem is Venezuela doesn't account for much of the drugs coming to the US, so why do this? To understand the real reasons behind this, I want to take you back to a private meeting that happened in Washington last month, where the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, Barclays, and a bunch of hedge funds and investment firms had a meeting with Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. On the agenda, investment opportunities in Venezuela after Nicolas Maduro is removed from power. And what would be the biggest investment opportunities in a Venezuela that's more friendly to the West? Of course, it's oil. Venezuela has the largest proven reserves of oil in the entire world. The big oil companies want in on the action, but they had to leave Venezuela when Hugo Chavez kicked them out. They would love to get back in, but first they need Maduro out of the way. And it looks like the Trump administration is happy to oblige. Leading this charge is Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Rubio wants regime change in Venezuela, mostly for ideological reasons, like fighting socialism. But he's been super successful in swaying President Trump towards this conflict. Trump has wanted regime change in Venezuela for ages, primarily because he wants their oil. Earlier this year, Trump nearly made a deal with Maduro to ease up pressure on Venezuela. In return, Venezuela would stop sending oil to China and would open its oil reserves to American companies. But Rubio, he hated this deal, so he convinced Trump that it would just be easier to remove Maduro from power and take Venezuelan oil by force. Oil companies are, of course, cheerleading this conflict. Chevron currently operates in Venezuela with permission from the Trump administration, and they would be well positioned to take advantage of a new Western-friendly government. ExxonMobil has been covertly calling for regime change in Venezuela for years, funding think tanks and using them as a mouthpiece to call for a new government. ConocoPhillips has been suing the Venezuelan government for years and recently won a judgment against them. And of course, all of these companies are major Trump donors. So needless to say, the vultures are circling and they're hoping for a kill. Watching all of this happen, I can't help but remember the Iraq War. An American president bent on regime change sells a conflict to the American people, claiming that a foreign government is an imminent criminal threat to the American way of life. Meanwhile, the true motivations are much more basic: capturing resources that benefit American corporations. In early 2001, the Bush administration and Dick Cheney were already holding meetings at the White House with oil companies. The topic of discussion: investment opportunities in a post-Saddam Hussein Iraq. There's still time to turn this around, but with Congress refusing to act as a check on the president, it's really hard to see who's going to stand in his way.